Hey folks, it's Marvin Cash, the host of the Articulate Fly, and we're back with another Western North Carolina fishing report with Dale Collins of Tuckaseegee Fly Shop. How you doing, Dale?
Doing great, Marvin. Enjoying the evening out here on the banks of the Tuckaseegee River with the Nantahala Kids Club as they wrapped up their fall session with the kids learning how to kayak. And my son Bryson is finished up, and he just went through Bryson City in a kayak through the big Class 2 Rapid Devils dip. So I'm pretty proud dad right now, even though he's not holding the fly fishing rod. It's still pretty cool to see.
Yeah, absolutely. And, by the way, how did your event in the shop go with Norvice last weekend?
Oh, man, it was great. Tim O'Neill and Braden Miller Time Flies, came down. So they had the Norvice crew in the shop and some great fly tying demos. Braden is just so talented with those streamers and, the game changer style flies. He was just amazing to watch. And then Tim, spinning the magic on the Norvice, so to speak. Man, it was just a fun day. Lots of learning happened. There was lots of great questions and people kind of seeing how that fly tying system works as a complete setup. And so we're already kicking around ideas how we can make it better and maybe have something even bigger coming in February. Maybe we're going to try to see if we can get it organized in time, but it could be a fantastic weekend. I'll put it at that.
Yeah, absolutely. And, it's kind of interesting. It's warmed up a little bit, but it's definitely fall. And, I checked on your weather and it looks like you've got kind of a little bit warmer than normal in the 70s, but you're still kind of cool at night. What are you seeing on the water?
That's right. Yeah, we're sitting. We'll wake up in the morning in the 40s. Sometimes we hit mid 30s here a couple mornings ago. Had our first frost, but by 10:30, 11 o'clock, it warms up quickly, and we're sitting around 70, 75 degrees by the afternoon. So if you're coming out on the water, you definitely want to layer up and wear something warm in the morning, but be able to shed that as it warms up. So water temp, it's interesting from the storms. Before the tropical system came through, it's actually been a little over a week now. That was the last time we actually had rain, but water temps were dipping down into the 50s on the Tuck. The creeks are in the 50s. They're perfect. Like Scotts Creek, it's sitting 52 degrees. Caney Fork, National Park creeks are sitting in the mid 50s, right where we want them. But we did see with some turbidity and high water on the Tuckaseegee, that water temp creeped up to 64 actually. So, and that was of course, on the surface where my thermometer could reach. And I'm sure if maybe you went further down in the water column, it might have cooled off a little bit. But, so yeah, it's kind of all over the place, but the more consistent water temps are definitely on the creeks. And so you're going to see there more consistent fishing throughout the day because of that.
Got it. And so I'd imagine, right, if you're on the creeks, you're really kind of, dry fly bites going away. You really got to kind of nymph them up, but you probably got a little bit more variety if you're fishing a river like the Tuck. That's
right. Yeah. The creeks, you can, dry droppers, a safe setup, fish like a size 12 or 14, orange stimulator, caddis, blueing, Adams, female Adams, that type thing. And then underneath that, we've seen really good results with like a number 18 dropper, like a fly formerly known as Prince or Brassies and things like that. And then on the Tuck, we're definitely on the nymph game. And we're doing tandem setups with Shannon Messers. He's got a IDK bug. It's like a jigged hare's ears with rubber legs, and it's pretty neat, but it's heavy and it's low profile, so it's got a fast sink rate and gets down to the bottom quick. And so we've had good success on that, probably the most consistent success on that.
Got it. And we've got a question from Blake. He wanted to know, and I think this is pretty timely, I guess you got a lot of water moving along the Tuck, and he wanted to know, is the water being released because of moving hurricane water downstream, or are they working on the dams?
So that's a great question. We have fielded that question a ton in the shop over the last 5 days or so. The rain, we had one report of rainfall total of 3 inches over in Dillsboro. That was at the Messer Manor, as I call it. But then on the other side of the valley, on the south side of a big slope up Dix Creek, we saw a rainfall total of around 6 inches. And then locally, probably in the southern end of Jackson County, where the Tuck gets its water, was actually some higher isolated amounts. So one of the lakes actually got up 9 feet above what Duke Energy had as target. So they have to then, they're actually spilling water over the top of Cedar Cliff Lake as well as the bottom release. So we're seeing higher turbidity because of that, because there's a big algae bloom in that first 10 feet of water at the surface of the, right at the top of the dam. And then obviously the water come out the bottom. So that's where most of the high water and turbidity is coming from right now. It's actually, we're over a week out from that tropical system coming through, but it's really all the water that poured into the lakes, basically the headwaters of the Tuckaseegee on the East Fork and the West Fork, that they're having to just do an around the clock release until they hit that target. And, I'm holding out optimism that, folks can, hopefully within a week be able to put feet back in the Tuck pretty consistently. And then, I have seen people wading in the areas that are safe to wade. Bryson City's down around just under 2,000 CFS. And so there's quite a few places that you can still wade at that level. And people are catching fish, within, 30 feet of the bank, waist deep water. So, know your limits, obviously, and don't try to be an overachiever and get yourself in trouble. But, it is high for now. So, take an opportunity to seek out another body of water. The Great Smoky Mountain National Park is fishing excellent. The Upper Nantahala Delayed Harvest is doing great, and the West Fork of the Pigeon is doing great, and pretty much any other stream on the fly fishing trail is just incredible right now because of those consistent water temps. Great question.
Yeah, got it. And, folks, we love questions on the articulate fly. If you send them to us, you can email them to us, shoot them to us on Facebook or Instagram. If we read your question, I'll send you some articulate fly swag, and you'll get into a drawing for some cool stuff from the shop at the end of the season. And before I let you hop Dale and enjoy some of that dad pride with your son kayaking, why don't you let folks know where they can find the shops and the hours and all that kind of good stuff?
Absolutely. So we're downtown Bryson City at 3 Depot Street. Got a big brown trout statue out on the corner. Get yourself a great cup of coffee at Mountain Perch right beside us. And then we are in downtown Silva, North Carolina Trout Capital, 530 West Main Street. And our hours through November are going to be 8 to 5. That's Monday through Saturday. So we are going to remain closed on Sunday. And 24/7, 365 at tuckflyshop.com. And then all the social media outlets, Tuck Fly Shop.
Well, there you go. Well, listen, folks, you owe it to yourself to get out there and catch a few. Tight lines, everybody. Tight lines, Dale.
You too, Marvin.